Start with the name of Allah, who's most merciful and beneficent, Lord of all the creatures, human and earth. Dear friends, I'm Ali Ahmed. Today, our topic of the subject building material is the characteristics of good building stone. There are many characteristics of good building stone. Following are the characteristics we are going to discuss in today's video. First characteristic of the good building stone is appearance. It matters. The appearance of the stone does matter. So the stone should be of the uniform color, and from architectural point of view, this should match with the surroundings where it is implied, and the lighter colors are preferred to the darker ones because of its strength, as the lighter ones are stronger than the darker color stones. And the property of appearance of stones is extremely important for the fastworks of the buildings. The good stone should also be able to receive good polish, and all the look of the building does matter if its appearance is good, and it has match the surroundings or the other parts of the building. So that's very important, that appearance of these stones should be well, good and suitable to the surroundings. Second property is strength, which is very important property and the important characteristics, one of the characteristics of the good building stone. Stones are used in construction of buildings, and these buildings where stones are used are generally subjected to compressive stresses. These should therefore be able to withstand the compression without getting crushed due to the load of the structures. So all stones used for the construction of ordinary buildings possess workable strength and compression, but the strength of stone used for the construction of heavy structures should also be tested before use. It's very important. And the close-grained and uniform textured stones are generally good in compressive strength. So those close-grained and the uniform textured stones should be preferred and should be used. So strong the stone, stronger is the building. This is very important characteristic of the stone. Third characteristics of the good stone, a good building stone, is the structure of the stone. A good stone, when broken in a direction other than that of cleavage, if any, should not give a dull appearance. When the stone is broken in direction other than its cleavage, it should not give dull appearance. That's called the good stone. They should be either close grain or crystalline, and should show uniformity of texture. There should be uniformity. These should also be free from cavities and cracks. It's very important. If the stones are obtained from sedimentary rocks, their stratification should not be visible to the naked eyes. The visibility of stratification is not good. Other property is hardness, which is as important as the strength, appearance and structure. A good stone, when used in floors, pavements or approach of bridges, should be able to resist abrasive forces. Most of times when it's used in pavements, and the bridges, there are the abrasive forces, so should resist the abrasive forces due to the wear and friction. Hardness of stone can be tested by a Morse scale of hardness in laboratory, whereas in field it can be tested by knife scratching, and hard stone should not show any mark of scratching when scratched with a knife. That's the field test. While in laboratory, there is the Morse scale of hardness. As we know that they are the tests for the strength, they are the tests for the hardness as well, and they are the tests for the durability and other characteristics, and we will later discuss all those. So says the other property, that's the fifth property or fifth characteristic of good stone, is the toughness. Good stones should also be tough enough to withstand stresses developed due to the vibration of machineries or the machines and moving loads over them. Stones used in the construction of roads should be hard as well as tough, and we have discussed the hardness. So stones used in roads should be hard as well as tough. So it's very important for the stones used in the your pavements or roads. Then the other properties, other characteristic of the good building stone is heaviness. The stones used for the construction of dams, weirs, barrages, docks, and harbors should be of heavy varieties. It's very important that the stones used in harbors, docks, barrages, weirs, and dams should be heavy. So, in case of dams and roof covering, light varieties of stones are preferred too. It's for the roof covering especially. Specific gravity of good building stone should lie between 2.4 to 2.8. That's the specific gravity of good building stone. It must be remembered that the specific gravity should be 2.4 to 2.8. Seventh property of or the seventh characteristics of good building stone is the durability. Durability is a very important property, very important characteristic, because without durable stone, the pavements or the structures cannot live a long life. So it should be durable. Good stone should resist action of atmosphere such as wind, rain, and temperature. Effect of temperature conditions on stones is generally known as weathering. Durability of stone largely depend upon their chemical composition and physical structures. Durable stones should have a compact and crystalline structures free from pores. That's very important. Eighth property of the good building stone is the porosity. Porosity is actually the absorption of the liquid inside the stone. A good stone should not be porous. It should be clear. It should not, the good stone or good building stone should not absorb water when immersed. Porous stones are unsuitable for construction work as rainwater falling on their exposed surface get driven in the pores of the stones by prevailing winds. The rainwater generally becomes acidic due to atmospheric acidic gases, and this acidic water reacts with the constituents of the stones, the constituents present in the stones, and causing them to crumble. In higher region water in pores when freezes, when the water present in pores freezes, it will disintegrate the stone because of increased volume after freezing. It's very well known fact. Porous stones should be used in construction of structure with care and at places which are not exposed to frost, rain, or moisture. That's important. Other characteristics, that's the ninth characteristics, is the resistance to the fire. That's very important because we have fire around or inside or around our structures, or sometimes it's exposed to the fire or the large heat. So it should be resistance to the fire. Stones, when exposed to fire, should be able to resist higher temperatures. To ensure this, stones should be free from minerals which are likely to decompose on heating, such as calcium carbonate and iron oxide. Stone should not be composed of minerals having different coefficients of thermal expansions, because different coefficients of thermal expansions does damage. Quartz expands at low temperature, and argillaceous variety of stones resist high temperatures. So the different the coefficient, different minerals of the different thermal expansions, coefficient of thermal expansions does not favor or does not resist the fire. So it's very dangerous. Should not be used. 10th property is dressing. That's important. When we cure the stone, quarter the stone, then before applying on our field, it's very important to dress the stone in a required shape, or in a required the art of converting a natural stone into a definite shape is known as dressing. Stones should therefore possess good dressing properties for carving and structural work in building construction. Marble is a good example. If maybe noted that it may be noted that a stone that possesses good dressing properties is weak in strength and durability, and also its hardness is slow. That's it. That's about the dressing. The most important, all characteristics are important, but this one's most important, because if it is not treated well, it will damage. A good stone, that's the 11th characteristics, that's the seasoning. Seasoning is what? It is actually the method, or it's the tact of making the stone free from the liquid, or any so a good stone should be free from the quarry sap, that's the liquid. To ensure this, the stones after quarrying and dressing should be left for the period of 6 to 12 months for proper seasoning. So the period when the stones are left to make it free from the sap or the liquid, that's kept for the period of 6 to 12 months. The seasoning should be done before using it in construction work. So friends, these all properties, or these all the characteristics of the good building stones are very important. And before using stone anywhere in the structure, in pavement, in building, roofing, flooring, and bridges and docks and arbors, anywhere if the stones is used, and these are the properties must be kept in mind and must be dealt with. The appearance matters. Strength is most important when it comes to the loads, and the structure of the stone is also important, because the strength, durability depend upon the structure of the stone. Hardness is very important. We need hard stones, because without hardness of the structure, we are not able to resist the different forces. Toughness is also important, because there are different forces of the friction and wear, etc. So if the stone is not tough, it will not resist the frictional forces, etc. And the heaviness of the stone, it depends upon the structure where it is used. So heaviness is heavy stones and light stones are used in different structures. Then the durability, which is very important. For the long life of the stone, we use durable stone. So we need the durability of the stone. That's very important. Dressing is also important property, because we cannot use the stone without dressing, and the stone should be resistant to the fire. And at the end, the last thing is the seasoning, which is not the last actually. The seasoning is the first thing. So these all are the important points about the building materials which are used as a good building stones in the structures. So dear friends, we will discuss all other topics of the building materials in our other videos, and I'm sure that you would have got what I wanted to make you aware of. And dear friends, it will be good to subscribe my channel and press the like button so that like you can have access to the other videos in future about the building materials and other subjects of civil engineering. Thank you very much.